Hey guys, this is Tanis with Metal Odyssey, and you are watching the second episode of What Did You Just Ask Me? A show where I ask musicians questions that have nothing to do with their musical careers. Today's guest is a guitar virtuoso who is currently playing with Butterside, Dorothy, and Faster Pussycat, Sam Bam Koltun. Thank you so much for doing this with me right now.
No problem. Thank you for that intro, although I very much that's very nice of you to
I have never been as blown away by a guitarist as I have in person with you. So you deserve any praise you ever get from anyone. And we'll just keep it at that.
oh well, thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a show about questions that aren't about your musical career. And they do get a little silly, and others are slightly serious. You can do with that what you will. But it is no secret to all of your fans that you are a huge fan of dinosaurs. So you had to know this was coming.
Yeah,
I would
okay.
love to know where that started. Where did the love for dinosaurs start?
Well, I think I mean definitely when I was a kid. I mean, it goes back really far. I don't really remember how old I was when I first saw the Jurassic Park movies, or I should say the first Jurassic Park movie. But I even there's a picture because I think I had sent it to Ace Von Johnson before uh, of me as a little kid dressed up as a dinosaur that he actually just texted me the other day. I'm like, oh well, yeah, that's me. And so it goes back quite a while to when I was a kid.
All right, and this is a question that, speaking of Ace wanted me to ask, and then a few other people also wanted to know what your favorite dinosaur was. My response was, do you actually think I wasn't going to ask him that? So yeah, what is your
when
favorite dinosaur?
when you first hit me up about this, I'll tell your people that I was like, a conversation not about music. This should be pretty short when it comes to me, but because I'm like, oh, what else is there to talk about? But I guess there is more. Uh, so my favorite dinosaur as a kid, and I guess I mean still, it's really kind of always been the three different ones: the T Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Velociraptor, and but even since I was a little kid, I've always thought going to the Jurassic Park movies, from Jurassic Park 3, the Spinosaurus was always kind of my favorite. And I don't know if I can curse, but I always thought that was the most badass. And that's actually that dinosaur toy that you sent me
Yeah,
is the Spinosaurus, and that's in the house downstairs.
yeah, that is a terrifying dinosaur, and I just found that on the ground. So.
Really, because it's on display now.
Yeah. I totally feel you with that the Velociraptor thing. They're both the concept and how they're portrayed in the movies are terrifying but also very beautiful. Like that is my weird irrational fear is Velociraptor. So I definitely get that. Bouncing off
Yeah.
your favorite dinosaur, you know, they have proof that dinosaurs existed and all that, but there's no that I've heard of proof that of what color they were. So with velociraptors and the T-Rex and all that, do you think they could have been a different color? Like bright colors like tree frogs and stuff like that.
I have never thought about it.
Mhm.
I've never thought about it. So I've never really delved into you know, to the look of them. I mean, because there's also, I guess, how they're portrayed in the movies. They aren't really portrayed with feathers and whatnot, but I guess some of them would have feathers being kind of somewhat related to birds, I guess, something like that.
Yeah,
So
I mean
I
evolution.
don't know.
There's only so
It's just
much you can get.
just because I think dinosaurs are cool doesn't mean I know everything that has to do with them. But uh, it would be certainly interesting if they were various different bright colors or whatnot. But uh, they're kind of ingrained in my head as what they look like in Jurassic
Yeah, I
Park.
mean it would make sense. It would make sense. Because like what do they need bright colors for? Half of them are huge anyway. So this is the last dinosaur related question, and in my opinion, the most important. Do you agree that chicken nuggets taste better in the shape of dinosaurs?
Yeah, they taste pretty good in the shape of
Yeah, so
dinosaurs.
much better.
If they could take a McDonald's nugget and make it in the shape of a dinosaur, I think that's kind of where the world would end. So it's
I mean, that would
a
be
good thing they
that
haven't
would be
done that.
like when the kids meal, the adult kids meal came out. That's the adult kids meal. Dinosaur.
That's the adult kids meal.
So, all right, like I said, that was the last dinosaur question. I just felt like that would help you in because you did say it would be kind of short. So like I said, these questions are really, really random. So this one is if aliens do exist, how do you believe they look? And there's a couple options. Do you think they're like tall and gray, like the ones you see in Signs, or dark shadows, kind of like either that green being or gray? Are they the xenomorphs from the Alien and AVP franchises, or are they something totally different? Do you have something totally different in your mind if aliens are out there?
I've never thought about it. That's probably going to be a lot of answers today too. Uh, I guess uh, hearing that, the first thing I guess that comes to mind is I guess I've always pictured aliens as like the little weird green and gray. I guess how they're portrayed as emojis.
Oh yeah, yeah, like Rave and all that Spencer stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess let's go with that answer. Yeah, let's go with that
Green and
one.
gray. Yeah, that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
a lot of movies are now changing aliens to look as like far away from that as possible. So
Yeah, like realistic and creepy looking.
yeah, well, yeah, more humanistic, like oh, what is it called? In the like one of the last alien movies.
Oh, E.T. They
Oh,
could look
true.
like E.T.
True. I didn't even think about it.
They could look like him. Yeah.
Or oh god, what is that really old movie? That the little guy looks like it's like Toby and Me or something. Something like that. But it looks a lot like ET, so that would make a lot of sense.
It could be.
Thing. What is the weirdest thing that you have ever seen in someone else's house? I know you have a lot of interesting friends or know a lot of interesting people.
Um, the most interesting thing I've ever seen in somebody else's house.
Or the weirdest thing you've seen.
Huh. Huh. Um, maybe you can edit this down. uh,
Absolutely. Well, it's a
wow.
process. Like you're not ready for half of these questions. Okay,
Um,
here, how about we change the question? What is one of the weirdest things? Like if somebody came into your house and saw it and they probably question you a little bit. Like
would question me.
yeah,
There's nothing that weird here. I don't think.
depends on who you're
Uh,
talking to.
um, there's little bats hanging around, just like a
Year
little
round bat.
toy bat. Yeah, well, because there's Halloween decorations that kind of just stay up year round.
They're just house
When you,
decorations.
yeah, you go shopping at the Halloween stores for year round house decorations.
Absolutely. I
So
totally, yeah, got a
yeah.
little clown in my computer room that's just hanging from the ceiling that just stays there. Um, it's weird because it's right next to the Christmas tree, so you like run into it before you hit the Christmas tree. So
Actually, the weirdest thing in the house is this little mural thing that's it's like a concrete mural that's above the fireplace, and it's just been here forever. Just that's what I was told about it, and I'm like, okay, so just you're kind of just stuck with it there. Which originally was trying to put the TV there, and then it's like, oh well, the chimney's right behind that, so that's not going to work.
ooh,
So
that's
then just
yeah,
kind
very
of
weird.
got some stuff on the mantle just to try to hide it and cover it.
Yeah. You're like, this is a little too creepy even for me.
It's a little just like kind of weird and bizarre. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I get that. That a lot of that stuff you see in TV shows and where they're pulling down like wallpaper.
Well, missed
Ends
opportunity. The
well.
weirdest thing, if anybody comes to my house or our little cul-de-sac area, they'll see our buddy Fitz, the
Yeah,
bearded Fitz. That's
there
that's
you
the
go.
answer. That's what should
That's
have
a
been.
great answer. That's the weirdest thing. I can get that. I can.
That's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
Okay, so recently, you had posted and saw that you played with an injured finger. You had broke your finger. So what is the
That
weirdest way
was
you have ever injured yourself?
that.
What
Because
did
I
you do?
up until that moment I had never broken a bone. I'd never broke anything as a kid or had anything like that happen before. And that's and it's not really that weird of a way that I got injured. I was moving and I was really hell bent on trying to get as much done as possible because it basically been on. Sorry to bring up music, but
No, it's
been
fine.
been on tour most of the year this year, and there was a certain
Most
window
of
of
it?
time. Yeah, at least 8 months of it. There's there was a certain window of time between the 10-week Faster Pussycat tour that had finished and this the 6-week fall Dorothy tour, and I was trying to get as much done as it could, and I broke it from slamming a bed frame on it. And if I would have waited like 5 minutes, Fitz or somebody else would have been over here. And but it really sucked. So I did
Yeah.
two Pussycat shows with it, and then a whole Dorothy tour with a broken middle finger, and it was really not fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Playing guitar with a broken finger being fun. Yeah.
Because I'm really kind of critical of myself, my how I play and everything to begin with. So not being able to do it, even at whatever my 100% is, that I already was not really that I'm never satisfied with. It was challenging for sure. I only did a couple shows without using it, and then it was kind of like, fuck this, I'm using it. But then I kept it in a. Sorry, I'm not sure actually if I can say those words. Can you beep it?
Oh yeah, no, you say whatever. This is going on the internet and a metal website that I've quoted
Oh,
eight
okay.
before. So
Okay. Sorry, mom. I'm kind of just like screw it, and yeah. So
yeah, no, that makes sense
that's
because
it.
why would
Yeah.
I mean you don't need to go through it, even though it's like an hour, that's like 3 days when your finger is in agonizing pain.
Yeah. So it kind of looks a little different now. I'm not going to show it to you because that feels like you can see it looks a little different. I guess that's just going to look different forever. So yeah, that's
Yeah, it
what it
probably
is.
didn't set too well because you didn't let it heal properly. But
Probably not.
man, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So
Um,
that's the weirdest way that I've harmed myself
okay.
is
I mean
dropping
that
a
that's not
dropping a
too weird, but it sucks.
yeah.
It definitely sucks. So, Ace was my first guest on this. And anytime he sees me post any picture of you or you come up, he speaks so highly of you. And this is definitely a question I could have asked him, but didn't think about it. How did you two meet?
Wow, this has to do with music.
That's
So
fine. I have like two questions in here that like are gonna push you towards music, and that's fine.
that's
I
cool.
just
That's fine.
bring it up,
Uh,
I just can't.
I'm pretty sure I don't have like a specific like moment in time that I remember really kind of meeting Ace, but we had met various times and crossed paths many a times through here in LA. There used to be these jam nights pre-COVID before the world ended. There were these jam nights that happened every Tuesday night, and then some that happened like every Wednesday. Like there'd be a once a month Wednesday one. And then before that, like a few years back, there was one every Tuesday and every Wednesday. And just running into Ace there, it's not like we really even played that much because we had only played jams a couple of times. Like we've only played together maybe 5 times. Well, before this
Yeah,
last
pre-tour.
pussy yeah, pre this last Pussycat tour where I was trying to get Ace up for every show if possible. Um the yeah, it was really just from these jam nights and really just started to, get to know each other a little bit more and passing or and stuff, and that's really how it was just from being out in
Both in LA.
LA. Yeah.
That works. I mean, that seems to be. Sometimes it's networking, sometimes it's you just run into each other. So
Yeah, that's how a lot of stuff works is it's just kind of networking and you meet people and then one thing leads to another and then kaboom.
yeah, best friends. Absolute best friends. So if you could change one moment in the past, and by that I mean like before you were born, like past, what would it be and how would you change it?
Heavy questions.
Yeah, heavy question. Here, I can help you out. I have this conversation quite often with a lot of people that one of our things would be going back and telling Randy not to get on the plane, Randy Rose to not get on the plane,
There we go. Okay,
or like
okay,
telling Cliff
okay.
to not get on the bus, something like that.
Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, mine would probably have to be something like that, or if somebody would have been able to help Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, help him so he didn't die.
Yeah, stop that. Yeah, it's
Let's go
only
with that.
giving help. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a hey, don't get on that plane, but it's a hey, you might want to talk to somebody, or somebody might want to talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know entirely the whole what specifically happened, but I know he was found like 2 weeks. Lane Staley, that is, was found like 2 weeks after he died in his apartment.
Jesus, I did
So
not know that.
he'd been in there for like days. So
Jesus. Yeah, was it overdose? Like overdose is what?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you could at least tried to stop that. Because if you can go back 2 weeks, then there you go.
somebody could have, not
Yeah.
me. That was I wouldn't have been there to do that, but
Well,
somebody
no,
could
but
have.
if you could go back in time, you would have stopped him. There you go.
But if I could go back in time, that I wouldn't be in present time, which means that would make me older.
Oh, true. When did he die? Well, I'm over here like 4 years younger than you. So
See, math.
Kurt
Yeah,
Cobain dying was I wasn't alive. So
right.
it's what I forget the little bit of time between us still has a lot packed into it. Let's
A
see.
little bit. Yes.
Well, in the grunge world, a lot packed into.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one we talked about earlier. What is your favorite holiday tradition? And we'll just open it up so you can pick whatever holiday. I know Christmas and Hanukkah are coming up and happening now. So you have any specific for Halloween, for New Year, stuff like that?
Um, I guess in I guess as a kid, Halloween was fun because the family and a bunch of people would go over to my aunt's house, and that was as a kid, and everybody would go trick or treating and all that stuff. So I guess that was always kind of fun. Um, I mean, Thanksgiving, it's all just about eating food and celebrating people taking the world from somebody else, right? So
It's
something
football
like that,
day.
or
What are you
taking
talking about?
the anyway. I don't know. Yeah. But then whatever. Then Christmas. Yeah. I don't know. New Year's Eve. I guess in recent times. Sorry, in the past, New Year's Eve. I guess was always kind of fun because we'd play New Year's Eve gigs at home, and you that kind of became a tradition, I guess, for a couple years, and now the last I guess this year and last year and maybe the year before that, tradition the last few years has been going to see LA Guns at the Whiskey on New Year's Eve. So that's
I'm making
I
that
guess that.
journey this year.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, Virginia
Then I'll
to
see you.
California.
Then I'll see you there. Because
Sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah, Ace is staying at the house for a couple days, and uh, so yeah, I guess that's kind of those are
Quite,
what come to
yeah,
mind.
the New Year's thing for LA Guns, I think is a really cool idea. And because it gives somebody like, if you're really not into just watching the ball drop, it gives everybody something to do. Um, Mine is a trip, so that's just Christmas present, but I think it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's just it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and you do get to celebrate the new year, and what better way to say is here's my last concert of the year and my first concert of the year. So another question that a fan asked, her name is Rachel. She wanted to know your least favorite holiday and why. And I think you might have answered that earlier.
Um, I mean, least favorite holiday. Uh, I don't know. It used to kind of be Christmas, but now I'm just kind of like I don't really care. Now it's kind of fun. Um, just for some reason, I don't know. There was always just a thing for me. Uh, I don't know. I mean, the point of Thanksgiving, I don't really like. I get it's like it's one day of the year for people to act like they're thankful for things and stuff, and then you eat a bunch of food, and so that's why I don't really like, I get it, but I don't get it, I guess.
No, it doesn't. It turned into a day of food. Like it really is just about the food and about the Macy's Day Parade and all that. So yeah, it has.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see on social media or whatever people being thankful for stuff and feeling thankful. So that is, and it brings people together and whatnot. But yeah, then the yeah the so
And then
I
you have
don't
the
know. I
lovely
don't.
Black Friday afterwards.
Yeah, I mean that's the holiday right there.
That's the worst holiday when you work retail. Hated.
That's
Absolutely.
that's the holiday and Cyber Monday. There you go. There's the
Cyber
holidays.
Monday. Cyber Monday is the holiday. That is the holiday nowadays, at least. All right, so this is one of the questions that it is very close to being a music related question. So it might be a little more comfortable. I know that a lot of people name boats, name cars, but do you name your guitars? No.
No, I don't. I'm sorry to disappoint. I mean, they
Okay.
all have like I just call them all like I don't call them names. I call them by like what they are, like the SG or the gold top or the custom or the Bigsby. Well, I mean that's I guess technically a name because it's a Les Paul special with a Bigsby uh, bar on it. But like no, I don't have names for them. It's not like John and Tony and frickin' Gary and I don't
Jared
or
James Nichols has Doris. I think the guitar's name is
oh yeah. I
so
don't know if that was
something like
his
that.
name though, or if that's what the guitar was like has been called
Oh, okay.
for a while. I'm not sure if that's uh like his name for it, or if that's just what the guitar was called before it even came to him.
Still not
But
sure.
yeah, I've never been one to name the guitar. Like I don't know, like what am I gonna say? Like, oh, I'm gonna play Mary today. Like
Exactly. It's just, I mean, I guess both ways. You have your description and like from what it is, and that's how you say, hey, Fitz, I need, give me this guitar, like stuff like that. So,
yeah, I guess yeah, I mean I refer to them just kind of as in the one that's a sunburst guitar, I call it the burst. The one that's yellow, I call it yellow. The one that's gold, I call it gold. The one that's silver and big, I call it silver and big.
That is how I would need you to describe your guitars, because other than that, it goes right over my head.
Yeah,
Like, you're lucky if I can name a different brand of bass. That's like about as lucky as you can get from me.
right.
So you are into Halloween and kind of some weird, not weird things, but like the creepier things. Um, have you ever used a Ouija board before?
I've not.
Would you ever use?
No, I don't think so. Everything's kind of been okay so far without trying that, so I think I'll just kind of
Oh, but yeah, see, no, I would never touch one. I don't think
I've given Ace a Ouija board though. I've given Ace a Ouija board because I think I think it was either my mom's or my dad's. I don't remember. Maybe it was my dad's. And they were cleaning out the house and they had one. And I was like, and they were like, oh, give this to Ace. I'm like, oh, I'll give it to Ace. So I gave it to him. So I made it his problem.
problem. Yeah, my question is, why didn't you question your parents on why they had a Ouija board in the house?
Because it's freaking Missouri. Like,
That doesn't help me.
because it's Missouri. It's like, I give these something for fun.
Oh,
I don't
not
know.
opening random portals, but okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this one, where it's kind of, I guess Ace is a great segue into a lot of things. A while back, Ace had posted a video from when he was in Faster Pussycat of him in the car with Danny, and Danny was driving. And it literally gave me the biggest secondhand anxiety in the world because he can't drive. So have you ever been in the car with Danny while he was driving? And if so, how did that go?
No.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's worrisome even being in a room with Danny doing something he knows how to do. Uh, that's yeah, Danny doesn't drive and I also don't drive. So
Oh,
that is
any reason
uh
for not driving, or is it just location?
um uh, a few things. I just don't I'm scared of it, and then I live
Totally
in
get
Los
that.
Angeles, so there's people like Danny out there on the road. Um yeah, no, I
That
so I
I
don't have an
definitely
experience
respect
with
that.
Danny driving, but I have plenty of interesting experience with Fitz driving. He's his own can drive and he's licensed and whatnot, but he has his own methods, like 1, 2, 3, go at a stop sign.
I mean, sometimes
In
you
the neighborhood. In the neighborhood.
oh okay.
Yeah. In
Well,
the
like
neighborhood, it's safe.
sometimes you do need that, like driving in places like LA. Like I'm from a small town in Virginia, and then you just go up to DC area and it's like a whole new freaking country. And that is where it's good to have somebody who kind of knows how to drive like a psychopath. So like fit
Yeah.
it for LA. Like if you need to get somewhere, he ain't gonna take shit from no one. So
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also kind of by design, so that, when you're on tour with a band like Butterside or some other bands I've been on tour with in the past where they're a band that's in a van. So you don't get stuck with driving
yeah.
because me being Mr. you know, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't do anything. Uh, I feel like I would get stuck with driving quite a bit and don't really want to.
No,
So
I
not driving.
totally get that. I was pretty much forced into my
Yeah.
license, so I 110% respect that underlying fear.
Yeah.
And I get it as not so much yourself, but like others on the road are a little scary.
Yeah.
This one is gonna be a little more deep and less silly than the others. Um, I've seen a lot on TV and just online about charities that you can donate to now. If you could start a charity of any kind, could be music related, anything like that, what would you do?
If I would start my own, probably something that's related to music for sure. Probably getting kids instruments or getting kids. Uh, I mean, I can't really say like lessons or anything because you can technically kind of just go on YouTube. Now you couldn't really do that. You couldn't do that even when I was a kid. Like go on YouTube and just learn songs and have somebody, teach you how to play whatever song you want to learn. But probably something that's music related that would be able to get uh people playing or help you kind of build some kind of place, I guess, that kids would be able to play or do shows and be able to play live. So it'd definitely be something music and kid related for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can
Yeah.
definitely see you doing something similar to the keeping arts and music in school and stuff like that. So
Yeah, because it's just that's important. Or for anybody who is is wanting to play and doesn't just with the upbringing that I had musically, it'd just be great to be able to see what some other younger people could do with that kind of thing, being able to play out a bunch of nights a week or play with different musicians that are older than them or better than them or so something related to that. I'm as you can tell, I'm kind of piecing the puzzle pieces of the idea together, but
kind of,
yeah.
I think the best way to describe it is a accessible year-round rock and roll fantasy camp. Is like
Wow, that's exactly what I was saying.
there
Thank
you
you. You just put it into English. Yeah.
go. Two. So another one that is gonna bring it probably really close to talking about music, which again, wherever it goes, you can take it. And you are on three this year, two tours. I know Butterside has at least one show that I know of next year. So you've been on different types of tour buses. You've been in a van, according to the Butterside thing. What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen on a tour bus? Any tour bus? It has to be now.
The weirdest thing I've seen on a bus, like we've gotten on a bus and there's this on it. Is that
Yeah, or
what you're
somebody
asking?
had it. Like I don't. You might have gotten on some random band's tour bus that you were playing
Um,
that night, and you're hanging with the guys, or something like that. Or somebody from your band had something on it.
oh well, okay, so there's um okay, there's three three answers that come to mind right off the top of my head. I'm sure there's probably something else if I can think way back, but these are just the most recent things. So this is what is kind of stuck in my brain. It's not really anything that weird. It's just kind of like, okay. I'll start with the one from the Pussycat bus because this is the least exciting. It's really we kind of got on the bus and it was like, oh, there was like a trumpet on the wall, and then like on the ceiling there's like some other kind of horn built into the bus, and the bus had music notes on the front of it, and I'm like, oh, this is really festive.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I definitely remember that bus because it almost hit me at Dr. Pepper.
oh wow, yeah,
That
yeah,
is
and
a interesting
that driver was something special too. uh that's something interesting you find on the bus. uh
bus
the bus driver, that's goes for a couple of these tours this year. Then on the this last Dorothy tour, so the fall tour, we had one bus. Oh, that reminds me of another story. We had one bus, and then that bus broke, and then we got onto this other bus, and this other bus came with a really interesting driver also. But this bus was part of the. I guess it was Vinnie Paul from Pantera's bus, so it was a part of the Pantera estate was sold, and so it had some stuff in it nothing really that crazy, just like a couple like Metallica related things and some things kind of in the back. And it was like, oh, this is pretty cool, but we didn't want to take anything of it because it's like, oh, this should stay here. But there was a sticker on there that was signed by Vinnie Paul, and it was the Dallas Cowboys, I think, football.
Fair.
And so that was interesting. And then what was the oh, there was a homeless person that came on the bus at some point during the tour. That's a whole story though, but I guess the guy kind of was hanging out around the bus in Arkansas or something, and he ended up getting on. I guess when the driver came to do his once around, but he didn't lock the door because I guess that's kind of a normal thing. The driver comes, it's just does a walk around the bus to make sure everything's ready to go as it kind of gets warmed up. And yeah, this guy was just, I guess I was asleep, but I heard from the drummer and from the driver that this guy was just sitting there asleep on the couch, and they were like, "Yo, you gotta go." Uh, and luckily, nothing happened.
Well, that is good. That because that could escalate real quickly. I think you would have
Yeah,
if anything bad had happened.
and the only other thing that I thought of was on the spring tour this year with Dorothy. Uh, we also had a bus issue. I don't completely remember what the issue with it was, but we got a second bus, and that bus got deemed the name Rat Bus because uh, COVID, everything sat around, and then all of a sudden, I guess they just decided to send out these buses and not really clean them or really do anything with them. And I guess there was rat poop and some of the bunks and under the bus, under in the bays and stuff, and so uh, they got it professionally cleaned the next day. But that got dubbed Rat Bus. So those are the most interesting things
Yeah,
I think I've found.
I would definitely go with the Pantera bus was a pretty cool story though. That's
So
not
I should have saved that one for last.
I don't know. The homeless guy I would probably say is the weirdest. The Pantera bus is probably one of the coolest. I would say.
Nice.
All right, so we just got a few more. If you had the job that you wanted when you were much younger, instead of this, what would you be doing?
Oh, this is the only job that I've ever had or ever wanted.
Also, have you like ever had like a retail job or like anything like that? You just went straight into music.
Yeah, I worked at like a thrift store for a week, but that was because I had to do like some community service thing for school for because it was a private Catholic school or something, so you had to do some kind of something, I don't know. But no, this is I've been getting paid to play guitar and play music since I was like 14, I think.
That
14.
is pretty awesome.
13,
That is
14.
literally living the dream right there. All right, so we're gonna end on a bit of a deep note. And if the answer is what I'd say the exception is, that's fine. But besides playing guitar, is there anything that truly makes you happy? Anything else that truly makes you happy?
Yeah, like my friends and people that I'm close to. Uh I mean, really, I mean, guitar is like, that's the thing. But yeah, just the people that I'm close to. That's what I'll say for that answer.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was gonna go somewhere like that. Well, thank you again. That is it for me. I do want to say, like I said, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this with me. You have been watching What Did You Just Ask Me? A show where I ask musicians questions that have absolutely nothing to do with their musical career. Stay tuned for more. I have Rudy Sarzo going to be on the show sometime in the new year, which will be amazing. If you want to know more about Sam and more about him playing guitar and the bands he's with, make sure to subscribe to his Patreon account, which I will put a QR code for at the end of this video. Like I said, thank you so much for doing this, Sam.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned for more at metalodyssey.net.